So, going to start with the Ashvaratna mudra. So, join the palms together with index and ring finger interlaced. So, we've got to think about that one. Index and ring interlaced. Extend the thumbs, extend the ring finger. Index and ring fingers interlaced. Extend the thumbs and the ring fingers and little fingers. So let me do it. That meant middle finger. So middle finger and index finger interlaced, and the ring finger, the little finger extended, and the thumbs touch. So there's a little bit of space there in there as well. So there's interlacing, thumbs touch, and then little finger, and ring finger extend. So this one is called the horse duel. And this one, I want you to relax your shoulders and imagine you are mounting a mythical horse that gallops high into the sky. So giving you a clear view of your entire life, like a bird's eye view. And you're noticing what behaviours in your life are not serving your highest potential. And you gather all your determination, renounce any negative habits, and recommitting yourself to a life of spiritual cultivation and new resolve. I quite liked that this week. That was quite nice for me. So I keep wanting to lift these fingers if anyone else feels that. So it is like interlace those two. It's a really good one for balancing the earth, water and fire elements. Good for digestion, circulation, cuts through ego clinging and narrow-mindedness, giving you new perspective on your life path and choices. It's quite powerful. Can you imagine that horse galloping up in the clouds? So let's take that standing up. The horse duel. Come to the middle of your mat, feet hip width apart. And let's hold that kind of near heart center. Come back so you can see me. Length at the back of the neck. Your shoulders are relaxed. Find the pelvic floor and find transverse abdominis. Feet facing forwards. Tuck your pelvis under. And we're going to go in, hold for a second with the core muscles and a slow release. And we'll do it 10 times. So in and out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. 5 more, and in, out, in, and out. 3 more, and in, out. 2 more, and in, and out. Last one, and in, and out. Then find your 50% with the core. Hold it there. Release your toes. If your toes are gripping onto the floor, release your shoulders, release the muscles in your face, and then just shaking out the hands. And let's just take the shoulders in, hunch the shoulders up to the ears and release them down. And lift and lower. Notice when you lift the shoulders if you lose any TVA, so just keep that engagement with the core. Lift and lower. Then we're going to go shoulders forwards, shoulders back, shoulders forwards, shoulders back. Particularly thinking about the pelvis and the core as you take your shoulders back, and you've got the twisting on the wrists there as well if you want. Palms facing out, palms facing in, looking up, looking down. Couple more. Then just taking a circle on the arms, reaching them up towards the ceiling. Circle them all the way around, breathing in as you lift and breathing out as you lower. I might feel like this is the deepest and the first big deep breath you've taken all day. Or all weekend if you've been busy. If you want adding, going up onto the toes, take some balance. Just getting as really tall and as long as you can as you reach the arms up. Still work with the core, keep that pelvis tucked under. Let's go 2 more. Then crossing the legs forward, fold chin into chest, soften through the knees. You can reach those fingertips down to the floor, or just take it halfway down, and then take it the other way. So cross the legs, chin to chest, coming down. Just working with your layer here. You don't need to go all the way to the floor. You might just take it halfway, work into a nice soft back bend. And then again, going to the other side. Maybe you're feeling a little bit more, you want more out of the hamstrings. As you reach down, you can straighten the legs a little bit more. And just a couple more. Coming to center side bend. So you're going to reach the fingertips towards the ear, then take them over the top of the head and reach to the side, go to the other side. So just touch, little touch as you go over, as the elbow starts pointing up to the ceiling, almost like your fingertips are just pushing your head over, and then they can reach. Try not to look down with this, so looking forwards, or maybe even slightly looking up. Reach the other fingers down the side of the leg. Exhale into the extension. Might be the first time you've worked like kind of laterally on the spine all day. It's not something we generally do naturally when we're going about our everyday. Last one. Exhale, extend. Standing just under the mat then, just take one leg and draw a big circle with your big toe. So it looks a bit like a one-leg circle. I know you can't see my feet on the video, but just my big toe is tracing a big circle. Oh, I don't know what that's like the size of. It's a strange size that. It's like the almost the width. I'm almost getting the whole width of my exercise mat in my circle here. And then take it the other way around. Just sliding the big toe round. Hands on hips so you can kind of controlling the hips. They're not hiking, hitching up each side. A little bit of softening on the other knee. And then swap sides. Again, just drawing a really nice big circle. It's the one leg circle in standing with this. With control, with the tracing. Little stretches there in the hips. Still engaging the core muscles the other way around. It's a bit like a giant cheese, isn't it? That's the best thing about Christmas, is the cheese. Standing. Shoulders down and back. If you want, put your weights in now. We're going to scapular set. Tuck the pelvis under, pull in the core. Keep an eye on where the weights are sitting here and the wrists are sitting. So if you're in a droopy pine needle position, just tuck them in. So you're staying strong in the forearms, strong in the wrists. Getting that squeeze there on the shoulder blades. Engage the core, check you're not arching in the lower back. Check you're not dipping the chin forward. So almost thinking about the length at the back of the neck. Crown of head going to ceiling. You'll notice this if you've been kind of working at a desk or anything like that today. You'll notice how your shoulders are kind of pulled back with this move. Couple more. Exhale as you take the weights back. Going to go to the squat then. Front raise into the squat. Take the hips back into space. Circle the arms down and around all the way up. Going to do some nice classics tonight. Try and look forwards, try not to look down. Squeeze glutes as you lift out of that squat position. Engage the core as you take the arms up and around. 3 more. Then take the wide squat position. So take legs out. You can allow the feet to turn out if you want to. Come down to your sumo squat, perhaps a little wiggle side to side if you've got any tightness in the hips. Then think about getting nice and upright, shoulders relax, and then just take your big circle in front. Breathe in as you lift. Keep the head still, breathing out as you lower. Keep coming back to the core. Other way around. Again, just looking forwards, try not to look down. Last one, breathing in up as you lift, breathing out as you come down and around. Nice. Okay, let's put the weights down. Balance. We're going to take eagle today, and I'll weave it back in on the abs. Crossing the leg, and if you want, take the full bind, so the bind kind of goes all the way around. Or just cross the legs, you can have the big toe down, your choice of how you want to put your balance together. Find the core then, so find the pelvic floor, use your big toe as a bit of an anchor as well. And then the knee that you've got forwards, opposite elbow is going to go underneath, opposite side of the body. Crossing the arms, see if you can cross the wrists, interlink the fingers maybe. Then if you want the challenge, start to lift your eye gaze towards the tips of your fingers. Start to lift your elbows. You're going to get the stretch on your shoulders. And just take a couple of deep breaths here. Working with your balance, strengthening your foot, your ankle. Iron out that exhale. And then release from there, and we're just going to take hold. We've got this opposite arm coming forwards, same leg is lifted to opposite knee, and you're just going to hold on to that. Hold it there. I'm just going to show you sideways on. So you're holding on to your inside of your, across to the inside of the knee. Then the other arm, take it all the way up, and then play with taking it back. Again, this is hard, this is balance. See if you can put in a gentle twist position. Standing spine twist. Bring the arm all the way back over, come back to standing position, facing this way, take those heel lifts, push down through the foot, through the ball of the foot to the big toe, engage the core, squeeze the glutes. Three more. Again, still working on balance. Okay, let's go on to the other side. We did eagle, so crossing the leg. Your choice of whether you're putting in some sort of bind or you just want to cross the leg. Opposite arm to the knee you've got on the top, take it underneath, cross the elbows. If you can, cross the wrists and interlink the fingers. Start to lift up the elbows. If you can, start to lift the eye gaze up to the fingertips. That's the big challenge. Keep engaging the core, the pelvic floor. And then from there, let's work into that twist. So release the arms. Same leg is lifted in that balance. You're going to hold on to the inside of that knee. And then you're going to take that other arm up to the ceiling. That might be enough. You might want to just stick with that. Or if you want to work into a bit more of a twist, take that arm around gentle. Take it up and over instead of just around to the side. It's a little bit safer up and over. Take it back up and over, coming back to the front, and we'll go to those heel raises. Press the foot into the floor. Roll towards the ball of the foot, the big toe, squeezing in the glutes. I've got my sticky socks on. You probably can't hear that, but they're making a little noise on my mat. Okay, great. Take a little bit of a shake, tap if you've got any kind of things that need waking up, tap or wheel. We're going to single leg exercise. So go and choose the one that you really connect with. See if you can do 2 sets of 10 on each leg today, so a little bit more than we did last week. So you could do your chair squats, you could do your dips on a step, you could do your lunges, you could do your deadlifts, Bulgarian split squat. You could also do, if you like, if you've got 2 exercises you connect with, you could do 10 on each leg, and you choose 2 exercises. What am I going to do? I'm going to do dips, and then I might do deadlifts, I think. I'll just get my step out. My pouffe. Think about the position of the foot, so the foot's facing forwards, we're not turning it at an angle. We're controlling what's happening with the knee, we're not letting that knee pronate into that midline. Hips are staying nice and strong, you're squeezing the glute as you lift up and out, send the hips forwards and up. Engaging the core muscles in here as well. So all of the options I've put out there are really good for knees, any knee rehab work, strengthening knees, firing glutes. And I've only got quite a low, you might notice in my step if anyone's watching, I've got quite a shallow step, so you can also, if you've got bigger steps, you can work on bigger movement with that and take it lower if it suits you. No pressure. Let's do, what was going to deadlift? Might do chair squat actually. It's interesting, I'm just watching as well what everyone's going with. If you've finished, lunges sometimes are a little bit quicker. Really send the hips forwards and up, squeeze the glutes on a lunge. Try not to let the knee pronate in. You can always cross your legs on any of these positions as well. That kind of makes it a little bit harder to balance. It's going to test you a little bit more. If you're done, we are going to go downward dog, so we'll meet all together there. Or just you can rest before we go there. I'm enjoying the Christmas decorations on Joe's stairs. It's making me feel Christmassy. Okay, when you're back with us, downward dog, take a jazz walk. Just stretch out the backs of the legs, send the hips up towards the ceiling. Spread the fingers. So I'm going to do something we've been doing the last couple of weeks, is that idea of going down into plank position. So if you're here with me, let's just go down into plank, pull in the core. And we're just going to do a little toe tap. So just see if you can tap your foot off the mat one side, the other side, then go back to your downward dog. A couple of jazz walks, stretch out the backs of the legs. Try and get that stretch on the backs of the shoulders, then again. Hips down. Find your core muscles, shoulders away from ears, toe tap to the side, other side, downward dog. Last time, toe tap, and downward dog. Bring it down into dolphin from there, so onto the elbows, more the blood is going to rush down to the brain. The heart's higher than the head here. Very powerful pose is dolphin. Take a deep breath. Then lower yourself down to plank position. Take it as low as you can. Option to put knees down. So low that if you just do a knee tap, you touch and you can just lift away. So that's how much we're really focusing on the core. We're keeping this plank super low. Let's see if we can do 20 of these knee drops. 2, 3, and 4. 5, shoulders away from ears. 6, 7, keep coming back to the core. 8, 9, 10, halfway, and 11, and 12, keep coming to the core. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, nearly there, 19, and 20. Release on a child's pose. Sit back towards your arms, towards your legs. And then here, if you want it, a thread through. So reach one hand forwards, bring the other one under that arm, reach to the side. Shoulder stretch, arm stretch. Try and just let the head relax. And then going over to the other side, send the breath to the lower back. So from there, come up onto all fours. Hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Take a moment to find neutral spine. Find that pelvic floor, find TVA. Eye gaze to the front of the mat. We're going to go quite simply, opposite arm, opposite leg, extend, and you can bend into that extension if you want, and then we're going to switch it over. So it's very simple. And then extend. Squeezing the glutes on that lift and focus on the pelvis, the lower back being nice and still. If I came around and put a tennis ball on that lower back, you wouldn't drop that tennis ball. Challenges if you want it, lifting up that back foot. So you're just resting on the knee and you've got the hand. Any wrist problems, you can take this down onto elbows. If you want more of a challenge, looking side to side. It really gets you, that one. Just a little bit of work there with the neck. Exhale into that extension. Keep coming back to the core. Just 3 more. Whether you've added in any of those extras. Then just taking a donkey kick one side, so just lifting up. Feel the stretch, maybe you feel the stretch on the front of that leg. And then here we're just going to take a dancer pose. You're going to reach the opposite arm around, so it's a little bit of a stretch on the chest. And just see if you can grab hold of that foot, that ankle, and lift. Dancer pose in kneeling. Bit of a chest stretch in there as well. Can you feel that stretch there on the quads? Release, go to the other side, so do your donkey kick up. Then reach the opposite arm around. You can always grab your trousers if you can't grab your foot. Try and keep the eye gaze forwards. So you're just getting the stretch there on the chest. And release that down. We're going to go to low lunge. So just stepping forwards with one leg. Let the hips sink into that stretch. Option to tuck the back foot under. Bit of a toe stretch. Sometimes you get a little bit more on the hip flexor. Palms together, starting to lift up and looking up to the ceiling. Crescent moons if you want them. You arch in the lower back. Take the eye gaze up, otherwise just extend, reach the arms up, eye gaze forwards. Taking a deep breath. Release the hands down, bring the hands down through the center, take lizard, so toes off the mat, heel on the mat. And then just taking a little bit of a swing side to side, exploring any hip stretches, kind of working into that length of the stride. And then you've got the option in there if you want to go down into pigeons. So you can just bring that leg forwards, come into pigeon, take a moment, breathe in to get that length through the spine. And then breathing out, bring yourself down, forehead onto the mat. So a few little options just to check in with what your body needs. Bring yourself up, we'll go low lunge onto the other side, step forwards, check your hip width, you can tuck that back toe under, sink down. Now instead of taking the arms up this time, take them behind, maybe even palms together, or you could interlink the fingers if you want, bit of a shoulder squeeze on this one. You can crescent moon that as well if you want, arch the lower back, look up, or just looking forwards. Just a little bit of engagement with the pelvic floor still. Then find your lizard, so toes off, heel on, into a little bit of a swing side to side, exploring any hip stretch, and then your choice, take it down into pigeon for 3 deep breaths. Just trying to iron out that exhale. Just letting go of any tension. Okay, so from there we're going to go to Sphinx, so you can bring it down from pigeon if you want to, or make your way to Sphinx. Elbows underneath your shoulders. Take a moment just to lift up the heart space. Send the hips down, the shoulders down, but the chest and the heart up. Then lift up your kneecaps, so you're kind of engaging through the legs, and then slide them down. Slide the toes off the end of the mat, so you're getting as long as you can. Think about lifting the crown of the head up and forwards. So we're just putting that length back through the spine, we're giving it that little bit of space back. It's been condensed, compressed today. Option here to go into some cobras. Bring the hands under the shoulders, but just go halfway. So tuck the elbows in, halfway and lower. Exhale into the left and inhale as you lower. Think about more engaging the lower back instead of extending with these cobras. So you're just getting to that point where your lower back's kind of working and taking some of the load, and then bring it down. Couple more, or a couple more breaths in Sphinx. Then take your quad stretch, whether you want to do passive or active. So active is where you push hand into foot, foot into hand, fingers. Or you can bring it all the way down, just work on letting go of that resistance. Take your stretch, try not to lift the hips and have the hips kind of square into the mat. And the other side. Then here, if you want a tilted bow, you could go for your tilted bow. If you don't like your tilted bow, you could take your double leg lift and lower, and in that you could almost put a windscreen wiper if you want to. And you've also got the option of doing a single leg and then a single leg windscreen wiper in there as well. Very small, subtle hip stretches if you like them. Tilted bow is into your lift, a bit more of a chest stretch, and then take it over, shoulder stretch, a little bit more work with the kind of the lower back and back extension work. You might just want to play with bow if you don't like the tilting positions. One more breath. Coming to centre then, got just a little, gonna go through the letters on a back extension swan dive exercise. So we're gonna go forehead down, engage the core as well with this, and we're gonna just lift up the arms, turn the wrists, keep the eye gaze down, that's gonna be I, and then release it down, that's just a nice standard I position. Then we're going to go to E. So this is going back to that bird's eye view of the mudra, of the horse in the clouds. Exhale, E shape with your hands and your head, and then releasing it down. Then go to the T, capital T, into that lift, reaching your arms to the sides, and then lower, and then go all the way up to a Y position, a capital Y, into a lift, and then lower. And if it's there for you, try and take a really long position into it. It's kind of another I, isn't it? But lifting maybe an L, and not capital L. So we'll go through, I'll just randomly pick a letter and we'll have a little go, see if we can do that back extension. Need a bit of space either side of your mats. Okay, so let's start on E. Exhale, lift and lower into a first I. Lift and lower into a Y. Into your lift and lower. A T. Exhale and lift and lower. Go back to the first I and lift. Twist those wrists and lower into a full I if it's there. And lower into the T. Into the E. 2 more with this. Into the Y. And then go back to that first I, last one. Lift and lower. Okay, press yourself up, cat stretch. Chin into chest, tuck the pelvis under. Looking towards your legs. Choice here, then if you need to little spiral with the hips or the shoulders. Just exploring any tightness you've got in there. Also wrist stretch, so you can just come back down to a bit of a neutral, take it one at a time, so you can just keep an eye on how much weight you're putting through the wrist. And then over to the other side. And then a nice little hip drop here, so you can go all the way down, or just halfway if you want, you can go all the way down, and then kind of lift as well, so you're getting a little bit of a work with the chest in there. You can lift, almost like we do on a threading the needle, come back to centre, and lift. So you're just getting that nice little stretch, that little bit of opening across the chest, across the arm going up. A little bit of strength work as you press yourself up as well. And just one more. Okay, picking a side then, let's move on to the next bit. I'm going to go to clams. So if you like your loop band, put the loop band in. Gonna do 5 of each. It's gonna start with lift and lower. So make sure you're almost falling forwards with your body, your hand if you can. Rest your head on your hand. Lift your feet so they're in level with your hips and your shoulders. So just lift and lower. Get into the glute med. 5 of these. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Engage the core muscles. I'm just waiting for everyone to catch in. And then hold, lifted, extend and bend. Extend and bend. Try and keep the hips still here, engage the core. Check you're not arching in the lower back with this move as well. 5 of these. And then extend, hold, small circles. 5 one way. 5 back round the other. Challenging with the band in there. Keep the control. And release down. Okay, use the mat here. Get nice and straight on the mat, nice and long. We're gonna roll onto our back a little bit with this too. So you know, double leg lift, lift top leg, lift bottom leg, lift rib cage. Take the stretch. So point the toes, reach through the fingertips, and then halfway roll. Just halfway, we're gonna go a diagonal touch and up, and you can open up this arm that's on the floor and then bring it back round. So into your lift, into the stretch, pulling in the core muscles here as well, and then into touch. If you want extras here, it's a double touch, and then come back down and lift, ribcage lift, sweep the arm down and then up. Last time. I'm kind of rolling off my mat. Is anybody else? Take that full body stretch. Quite a demanding sort of scissory action on that. Okay, let's do a side plank. You can leave the bands in there. Elbow underneath your shoulder. Just a standard hold into your lift. Hold. You can take the arm up, the elbow up. Squeeze here with the glutes. Keep the hips up as high as you can. Just hold. 10, 9, 8, 7, keep squeezing. 6, 5, keep breathing. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, bring that down. Let's go to the other side, go to the clam. Okay, get the heels higher than the hips, almost like you're going to fall forwards. 5, lift and lower. So maybe hand on hip, check you're not kind of really opening there. So you're just getting into the glute med. Then lift, squeeze, and then lengthen and bend. And lengthen, keep the control, especially if you've put the band in here. A little bit of tension in the feet. And then lengthen, hold, and take those circles. They're only small, like the size of Satsuma. Keep engaging with the core. Try not to look at the leg as well, looking forwards, or you know, try not to look down to the feet. Other way around if you haven't done it already. Keep the control. And release down, double leg. Lift to the teaser scissor. Okay, so lift top leg, lift bottom leg, lift the rib cage. Take a stretch. Think about getting that lift on the rib cage there. Bring it down, roll slightly onto the side into your teaser grab. Let's do this again. You can put in your pulse here if you want to. Do 2 of the teasers. 2 more times. Don't forget the rib cage on this lift. Length through the back of the neck as well. So just checking you're not dipping the chin down and losing that length in there. Last time, drawing in the core, big extension. Exhale down. Using those core muscles. Okay, let's side plank. Elbow under shoulder. Choice here, you could take the knee down. We can take legs straight, elbow up to ceiling. Squeeze, lift those hips as high as they go. And hold. And breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh, I did 10 on the other one. We better keep going. Another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release. You were going to let me carry on there, weren't you, on the 5 seconds then? Okay, let's go. Bands away. Moving on to our backs in. If you've got your weights handy, just get them nearby for this first bit. Arms up to the ceiling, you can take your weights, chest press. So take your weights down to the side, elbows can go down to the sides. So you're getting it there, into the chest and then pushing up. Option here, knees can widen slightly, but don't lose control of the pelvis. So just with controls, widen and lift. Imprint that lower back down. Use the core. Try not to arch any of the lower back. Now try a bit more of an open chest press. So instead of letting the elbows bend, maybe just open the arms and come back together. Need a bit more space. Yeah, I'm hitting a wall. Still imprinting that lower back down. Keep the control. Then see if you can go one opposite knee, opposite arm, knee, arm, drop, and then center. Knee, arm, drop. So a bit of cross body here. Same amount of imprint. Try and just keep the same work with the weights going that you had when you were doing it together. Not going too far down with the knee, that the pelvis is moving, tilting. Couple more. Nice. Okay, let's put the weights down. We're going to go to the 100. 5 sets here. Options to take it up to tabletop and teasers if you want them. Imprint lower back down, knees and feet hip width. Here we go then. Lifting one leg to tabletop and lower. That's 4 and 3, 2. Imprinting that lower back down and 1. Lift head and shoulders. Let's pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Fingertips to knees. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. If you want more tabletop, this, and 4, 3, palms up, shoulders relaxed. 2, 1, and pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And again then 4, 3, 2, and 1 to pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 2 more sets with this. 4 and 3. Keep working, keep imprinting. And 2 and 1. Pause. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And hold. Teasers are there if you want them. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. And 4. Imprinting. 2, 3, 2, and 1. And pulse. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last time. Hold. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And release. Full body stretch. Give everything a bit of a squeeze. Point the toes, scrunch up the fists. Get your shoulders to touch your ears. Pull your tummies in, squeeze your glutes. Scrunch up your face. Take a really big deep breath in. And exhale and just release. Take up loads of space. Feel heavy. Allow the body to just feel heavy on the ground. And bending the knees, hands on hips, going to go into heel slide. So go back to your imprint, use your core. Slide one heel away and then just bringing it back to center. Keeping those hips still, putting in on that imprint, that lower back. Using the core. Notice if you're holding any tension in the shoulders. So just see if you can relax. If your shoulders are tight here. Keep the length at the back of the neck. Now your choice, you can bring this up to tabletop. Lengthen and then bend, single leg stretch. Anyone that wants to add in here, you could take your arms, you're lifting your hand to the inside knee, outside to the ankle. Come back down and then see if you can go again. Super slow today with things. Dipping the shoulder down, that's the key there. It's almost like you're doing a bit of a lateral side bend to get down to that foot. Choice if you want, lift upper body, take it a little bit quicker, stay lifted with the chest and the shoulders. Exhale into the lengthening. Couple more. Feet on the mat, arms up to the ceiling. Take them over the head, just reach and then bring them back to center, keeping the chest down, the rib cage down. Imprint that lower back here as well, so you're keeping that length through the spine, length at the back of the neck so the chin doesn't start lifting up to the ceiling. Here, if you want to, go to your double leg stretch. If that's too much, you could always take your single leg stretch. Otherwise, everything lengthens. Exhale, and then bring it all back in together. And opening. Imprinting this lower back down. Use the core muscles. If you can, really work on these arms, getting to that floor of your head. That's quite tricky. Really try and get them to go down onto the floor. Couple more. Bending knees, T-shape with the arms. Breathing out, let both knees drop across to one side. Breathing in back to center, over to the other side. Choice to keep moving, or you might like to just hold one side and just work with the stretch, and you can place your hand on the top knee, the opposite side. Just go with what your body needs. Does it need just a little bit of a stretch and a bit of stillness? And just work the breath through those muscles, or does it want to keep moving? Depends on your day and your energy levels. Crossing the legs in, we're going to go back to that eagle position, to the eagle abs. Cross the legs, and then whichever knee you've put up on the top, take the other side of the body, elbow underneath. Cross over the arms, the elbows. See if you can cross the wrist, interlink the fingers. Breathing out, elbows to knees, and then lower. Exhale, chin goes towards chest, lift and lower. Just 4 of these, quite intense on these crunches, everything squeezes. On that 4th one, release the arms, go down, just see if you can grab the ankles or the shins, bring them towards the hips, take a squeeze. Bit of a stretch for the glutes and the hips here. Keeping that length at the back of the neck, so trying not to let the chin lift up to the ceiling. Then gently release. Let's go to the other side, so just do the legs the other way. Then that opposite side, the elbow goes underneath. 4 crunches, chin to chest, elbows towards knees. Well, I should say elbows towards the hips, really. It's almost like you cocoon yourself inwards. Exhale into that lift, and then once you've done 4, release the arms, go down, so if you can grab hold of the ankles, draw them towards the hips. Keep an eye on the chin there, so get that length at the back of the neck. Try and relax your shoulders. Take a squeeze. And then release. Let's go to the hamstrings. So you can take your long bands here. Whether you want to put your foot into the length of the band and do any flex and point, I'll leave it up to you. In fact, I might do that today. Still find your hamstring stretch though on that. Push away at the back of the knee. Try not to lift your hip. And I didn't stretch yesterday, naughty me. Did a 10k yesterday and I didn't stretch afterwards. Try not to let those hips lift if you're tight. Any flex and points if you want them. And then inside, outside as well if you're on the length of band like I am. Quite good as well. Then the leg out to the side. So stretch that inner part of the hamstring. Just support yourself so you're not going to fall over. And then let's swap legs. And then again, pushing away at the back of the knee. Get into your stretch and then just check in with the breath. Just checking you haven't shortened the breath in any way with the stretch, and just ironing out that exhale if you're doing any flex and points here. Relax your shoulders. Try and just relaxing the muscles in the face, like any space between the eyebrows, if any tension's just started, just because we're taking some stretch. Inside, outside of the foot as well, if you like that one. And then take that leg out to the side. And then bring the leg back in, put the bands down, go to that shoulder bridge. Just taking a pelvic tilt to start with, knees, feet hip width apart. Just thinking about the feet here and like which parts of the feet do we press down into the mat. Maybe think about the heels, or you can lift up the toes and try a pelvic tilt with a little bit of a mini lift. And then try putting all of the feet down. See if you can connect all parts of the feet, the insides and the outsides of the feet. Just trying different ways of keeping that connection from feet going up towards the spine. And then taking all the way up if you can, arms over the top. Choice here if you want to add any leg lifts. You could just bending in the leg, lifting up, and then see if you can straighten at the top, almost like you were going to do a hamstring stretch. Bend, and then placing it back down. So you're just testing out, so if you can straighten that leg, keep those hips lifted as high as you can, squeezing in the glutes. It's almost like I feel like a spider would move around the web by just bending in the leg and then just lengthening it out. It's just a bit spidery, isn't it? Couple more if you're doing the leg lifts, otherwise just take that shoulder bridge back down, hug knees into chest, and we'll meet you there. Arms down, hips down, hug knees, rock or circle. See if you can bring it up to a seated position. Got some rocking ones here. Whether you want to do some more curled up work like seals and crabs, or whether you want to go up and open out a bit more, I'm going to leave it up to you. Curling up, you would curl up like a ball, take your feet up, rock it back, come back to seated position. You can always just do spine mobility, feet down, just gently working with the spine. You could always just hold this position as well. This is quite nice on the core, holding and rocking like a ball, feet up. If you want more length, take it up. You've got your shoulder stands. You could take that over to roll over. You can boomerangs if you want to play more with hamstrings. Lift back up, cross legs and pulse if that's... Try and keep some flexion in the feet if you're going through on a boomerang to the extension part. Also putting in seals if you want them, soles of feet together, butterfly stretch to start with. And then you can take your hands underneath, more of a turtle seal. Clap your feet together, take it over and clap them over the top. Come back to your hover position. Even just holding butterfly is quite a nice stretch here as well. So yeah, I'm just inviting you to check in. What do you need? What does your body crave any more of? Before we tie up the session. Crabs, you can take hold of the feet crossed, rock it back. And then you come up onto kneeling, lift the arms up and over. Big stretch on the hips at the front of the body. Okay, gonna go to spine twist. If you've got a cushion or a block you like to sit on, you can always grab it here. Let's play with those letters again before we do a spine twist, just to get some nice upright position. So if we think about the I position, take your hands behind you, narrow. I mean, I've got a cushion in there, but if you can, right behind you, right behind your bum, and get nice and tall. Thinking about that back extension the first eye we did. Try and keep the length at the back of the neck, crown of head shining to the ceiling. This will help you get some length through the spine, press up through the fingertips. Bring it down and go to the capital E position. This can be tricky in cross-legged, just to get into this nice tall position, into that E. Then go to the Y, so just straighten the arms. You might feel a little bit of a stretch in the back. Then see if you're going to reach the arms all the way up, and this in itself is quite demanding, it's quite hard. Keep the length at the back of the